This video is for basic facial, and we're gonna start as if we're first arriving to work. So the first thing that we wanna do is wash our hands. So we're gonna find a sink, turn on the water, wet our hands, get the liquid hand soap, rub our hands together for all the steps. So we are gonna wash our hands with the liquid hand soap, our palms. We're gonna wash the back of our hands. We're gonna wash our fingers. We're gonna wash the backs of our fingers, fingertips and nails, between our fingers and our thumbs. We're gonna wash our thumbs. We're gonna wash our wrists. And we're gonna do all of that interlocking motion underneath the water for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds, getting that really good wash, and then rinse everything thoroughly. Once it's rinsed, we're gonna find either a clean towel or disposable paper towels, turning off the faucet, completely drying our hands, and then if it's disposable paper towels, we're gonna toss that. If it's a towel, we're gonna put the dirty towel in the closed container to do for laundry later. And then we are going to get our hand sanitizer, which is 70% ethyl alcohol, and we're gonna sanitize our hands. And our first appointment today is for a basic facial, so what we're gonna do now is prepare the room for the service. So we're just gonna review what we do to prepare for the service. So we are gonna disinfect our bed and workstation and equipment using a disinfectant wipe, following manufacturer's instructions. We're gonna check equipment to ensure that all devices are in safe working order and plugged into a working receptacle. We're gonna gather clean supplies needed for the facial service, storing in a clean, closed container. We'll turn on the hot cabbie and stock with at least 3 clean wet towels. More may be needed depending on the service and the client. We're gonna fill our clean steamer glass with distilled water. We're gonna preheat the steamer. We will dispense products needed for the service according to skin type and client's needs as follows. We will prepare disposable portion cup tray for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup tray, or we're gonna remove product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula, something like this. And then we'll close the lid to the product and set the portion cup tray on the tray. We're gonna drape our facial bed using 1 fitted sheet, 1 flat sheet, and 3 towels. We will place the clean laundered sheets down on the disinfected facial bed, placing a towel horizontally at the head of the bed. We will lay a hairnet and headband on top of the first towel. Along with a rolled towel to support the head and neck of the client, we will save the third towel to lie across the client's décolleté. So we've done all of that, and I'm actually going to show you the tray that we have set up before our client arrives. So I've got my tray ready to go, and I just want you guys to see everything that's been prepared. So I'm going to slide it over here so you can take a look at it. And what I have is I have my water, I have my toner, cotton rounds, 4 squares. I've got some disposable spatulas that I can scoop things out and toss. I have my wooden tipped Q-tip here for my astringent later on when I do extractions. I've got my brush for my mask. I have gloves for extractions. I have cleanser, exfoliant, massage, mask, eye cream, or moisturizer and eye cream. And the one thing I'm going to grab right now is I'm going to get my astringent because I have to have that for my extraction. So I'm going to go ahead and get that prepared. As well as my eye makeup remover. Or makeup remover rather. So my tray is ready to go. So I'm gonna put my tray right over here so I have access to it while I'm doing the facial right next to my bed. And I'm going to go greet my client. Now, just so you know, I just washed my hands. I'm gonna go greet my client with clean hands always, always. So that's been done. And then, of course, I'm going to wash my hands again before I begin the service. But I just wanted you to know that I always greet my client with clean hands. So what we're going to do is have that client consultation because we have to find out if she can actually take advantage of the service today. So we're going to greet our client who's just arrived and escort her to the work area. We're going to determine the client's preferences and assess the client's needs. We will assess the client's skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, infection or infestation like lice or scabies, to prevent from safely performing the service. We will assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products that they might have used within the last 72 hours. We'll consult on any known allergies. We'll consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months and if the client is under a physician's care. We'll assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We will assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, hydroquinone, etc. We will also assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks like Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from any of the above contraindications, we can move forward with the service. And my client is 100% ready to roll. So let's get her comfortable, and then I'm going to wash my hands. So we're going to give her a minute to change into her drape, and she's done that. So we've given her that privacy time, stepped away, and then she is laying in the bed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get her comfortable in the bed. So she's down in the bed. We are now taking care of that. We've got our towel horizontal. We're going to take our rolled towel and place it under the neck so it's more comfortable for her. And then we're going to put on a headband to keep the hair out of the face. I'd actually try to do this behind or like right on the ears. We'll see how this will stay on today, if it does. And then we're going to take another towel to drape the décolleté. And I'm actually going to grab another towel just for myself. To be able to wipe things off my hands. So before we start any service, we are now at the point where we need to rewash our hands. So we're going to go to the sink and we're going to wet our hands, find some liquid hand soap, and we're going to rub our hands together down to the wrist. And we're going to rub the back of our hands together down to the wrists. We're going to wash our fingers, and we're going to wash the backs of our fingers. We're going to wash between our fingers and our thumbs, fingertips and nails, thumbs, wrists, all of that for that 20 to 30 second minimum. Finding a clean towel or disposable paper towels to turn off the water after we've thoroughly rinsed everything, and then that towel will turn off the faucet. Dry. Everything's dry. We're going to toss that paper towel into the trash, or the linen will go into the closed container, linen to be laundered. We're getting our hand sanitizer 70% ethyl alcohol and a really solid sanitization here. And then we are ready to start our facial. Pardon me for 1 second. I would never do this, but I'm about to choke on, so I need to have a little sip of water. Thank you. So the first thing that we're going to do for our client is we're going to remove her makeup. going to do that starting with her eyes and her lips. And if you need to do this more than once, you be the judge of that. My client is quite glamorous and she's coming from work, so she definitely will have some makeup on. Just going to do a little extra dry just so she's not so wet around the eye area. And we're going to do our first cleanse. And so what we want to do now is remove that cleanse. Any residue or bit of cleanser, we're going to remove it. And now we need to perform a skin analysis. So I'm going to cover her eyes because we would be bringing in now either a magnifying lamp or a Woods lamp and turning that light on. And so I'm going to pretend like I'm covering my client's eyes, and then I'm pulling that lamp over and turning it on. And basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm going to start looking for things that would matter that we've discussed maybe in our client consultation, or things as an esthetician that I might want to look for, like maybe flakiness, hyperpigmentation, excess sebum, larger pores, maybe different textures in the skin. I'm definitely taking my time here to really do a good job of being very detailed and looking under that lamp where I can see things a little bit better that I would not be able to see. And maybe she's told me she's worried about fine lines and wrinkles. I mean, all of those things are what I'm taking my time here to look for, not only because it's going to help me in this particular service, but I'm also going to be able to be more targeted in her home care product recommendations, and then also additional services that would serve her best for her, not only what we think she needs, but also her skincare goals. So I would turn the lamp off when I'm finished, and then I would take it out of the way, and then I can remove the cotton rounds, and I can continue with my cleanse. So I've got 2 more cleanses to do. So I'm going to go to the next cleanse, cleanse number 2. And I'm going to remove cleanse number 2. going in for cleanse number 3. And now I'm going to remove cleanse number 3. And then once cleanse number 3 is complete, it's time to tone. So I'm going to do my toner now, and I'm actually going to spray mine on, making sure that the sprayer does not come into contact with the cotton rounds. And after you cleanse and tone, you will exfoliate. That'll be the next step. So I'm going to take a little bit of this exfoliant and kind of spread it around on the face because I'm going to be massaging it in for a few minutes. And obviously you're going to be following manufacturer's instructions. We are going to be avoiding the eyes, nose, and mouth. So if you want to put some cotton rounds on the eyes, you can do that too. Taking the time here to get that in. Okay, so now once you've got it all massaged in, I'm just going to go through the next steps because I don't actually have the machine here that would be doing what happens next. So let's talk about it. So you are going to retrieve your facial steamer. And you're going to turn it to the on position, and you're going to bring it over near the facial bed, but you're going to position it away from your client. And then as the water heats up and emits an even outflow of mist, it'll be doing that away from your client. Once that steamer is emitting a mist, you can position the steamer 16 inches over the client's face and aim it at the client's chin for even distribution on the face, allowing the unit to function for about 3 to 5 minutes. And so basically what you're going to be doing is bringing it in, making it ready, and then you'll turn it and aim it towards the chin, letting that go over the face for 3 to 5 minutes. Now we don't have the steamer here, so for video's sake, we're just going to say that that 3 to 5 minutes has passed, and you will then turn it away from the client, its face, and then you'll return it to its previous location and you can turn it off. So it's super easy for you to note that that's just out of the way, turned off, and it won't do any harm to you or to your client. So now I'm going to get a steam towel to remove my exfoliant, and I also don't have a cabbie, so I'm going to pretend like I'm using a steam towel. So I'm getting it out of the cabbie. It's really, really hot, and I'm checking that temperature on myself. And then I'm going to go into my client's collarbone. Once I think it's safe, check it on her. It's great. And then I'll fold it and get ready to apply it to her face. So I'm going to apply it to the neck and the face, but I'm going to leave the nose out so she can breathe, or the nostrils out so she can breathe. And then after that, exfoliant is removed, it's time for us to do extraction. So for that step, you have to put your gloves on. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And there's two different ways to perform extractions. You can use cotton rounds soaked in astringent and kind of work your way around. I'm actually going to use wooden sticked Q-tips. So for every extraction, you will actually use one set, and so you toss them every time. So I'm going to soak them in astringent. Tossing it, getting a new set, soaking it in astringent. Toss it, get a new set. And you wouldn't want to do this any more than 5 to 7 minutes because it can be uncomfortable for the client, somewhat painful. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with some things like this. Last one. So you're going to dispose of your Q-tips. You're going to take off your gloves, of course. Toss those, and then we're going to tone. Once again, getting two cotton rounds that I'm going to spray, and it's not going to come in contact with the toner. I don't know if you can hear in the background. Probably you can't, but there's a really bad storm going on right now. Rainstorm. So I guess it'd be a perfect time to get a facial because you could relax and fall asleep. Okay, after your toner, the best thing ever, she gets to enjoy her massage now after all those extractions. So make sure when you get your massage product out that you're actually getting enough that you won't have to go back into your product. Because you don't want to stop this and then start it over again going forward. So you really want to make sure that before you start your massage, you feel like you have applied enough of your product so that when you get to each area, you'll have enough massage product there to keep it going. And now you're going to remove the massage product from your client. My headband popped off, so I'm just fixing that. Awesome. And then now we are going to apply a mask to your client. You're going to apply a mask. And I'm going to be applying my mask with a brush. Also, we'll of course avoid the mouth, nose, and eyes. And we're just going to go over some details on your mask. So we always follow manufacturer's directions, and then your mask would usually sit on your client 5 to 10 minutes. But because we are doing a video, we are not going to set a timer and sit here for 5 to 10 minutes. We're just going to go ahead and remove the mask. So we're going to pretend like that time has already elapsed. So I'm going to go ahead and take off her mask as if 5 to 10 minutes had gone by already. Oops, her little headband just fell off again. Okay, the mask is removed, so we are going to now tone. And now basically her skin looks amazing, and you have to prepare her for her day. So what we're gonna do is put a little bit of a moisturizer on. Now it is raining out, but it's still daytime. So we're gonna put a moisturizer that has an SPF, and we're gonna take a little bit and apply it all over. I'm definitely gonna do her décolleté, her neck, any area that might be exposed to the sun. We talked about sunscreen in our consultation. We will definitely reaffirm that conversation when we are finished here. But this way she'll know that she is safe to go out without any kind of makeup or anything, because she's all prepared and primed, SPF. And actually we could have done her eye cream first. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that on. So we did moisturizer first today, but we know that we would do eye cream and then moisturizer. So all good there. We're just tapping a little bit of that eye cream underneath the eye and around the eye. And then of course she's got her moisturizer with SPF on. And now we're going to talk about what happens at the end of the facial to close out with our client. So she feels just absolutely amazing. She can't even take it. So we're going to give her some privacy and let her get her clothes back on and meet us out there to close out. So what we're going to do is we are going to discuss any aftercare or follow-up, obviously what her home care recommendations would be from this, and how often we would recommend her to come in. So we're going to get her closed out. We're going to get her new appointment booked. We're going to get her products for her to go home with. We're going to then come back to our room because we have another facial that's coming in, so we've got to get prepared. We're going to discard any single-use items that we haven't already. We're going to find any implements that we need to and put them in a closed container labeled to be disinfected. The cape, the drape, the towels, the linens, the sheets, everything are going to go into a closed container until it's time for laundry. And then we have to identify proper cleansing agent and read manufacturer's directions so that we can clean up. We're going to follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage. We are going to wipe down our workstation and area with the cleaning solution to remove debris. We will then identify a disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. We are going to put our gloves back on, follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. We will disinfect any electrical equipment, store it in a clean area, separate from other implements, and then you can take off those disposable gloves that you just put on, toss them in the trash, and it's time to finish with your hand wash. So you're going to wet your hands under the sink. You're going to find the liquid hand soap, apply it to your palms, and you're going to wash your hands down to your wrists on the palm side. You're going to wash the back of the hands down to the wrist. You are going to wash your fingers. You're going to wash the backs of your fingers. You're going to wash your fingertips and your nails. You are going to wash between your fingers and your thumbs. You're going to wash your thumbs thoroughly and your wrist. You're gonna do all of that for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. Then you thoroughly rinse it underneath the sink. Grab some disposable paper towels or a clean towel, turn off the faucet, dry everything off completely, toss the paper towels in the trash, or the clean towel will then go into that closed container with the rest of the dirty linen. Find your hand sanitizer, 70% ethyl alcohol, sanitize your hands. And then you can then set up for your next client who is coming also in for a facial. So this concludes basic facial video.